Well, hello there. No, I'm just kidding. Hi, everybody. Matt here from Matt Likes Comics. This is my response to the Friday challenge of the top 10 team up books. I worked hard to figure out which ones I like the best because I love team up books. It's cool when a when a hero is solo. It is also cool when there's a super group like the Justice Society of America or the Legion of Superheroes or the Avengers and the Defenders and all that stuff. But for me, the true team ups are the ones that are one or two people that team up together to handle a common threat. And so today, these are my picks for the Friday challenge of the top 10 team ups. This is DC Comics Presents number 79, and Superman is teamed up with Clark Kent. Now, everybody might be thinking, how is this possible? Is this another Earth 2, Earth 1 thing? No. Aliens, in order to settle a bet, have split Clark and Superman into two distinct people. And I'll leave it up to you to read the book and discover what happens. But suffice to say, they end up one person again, and all is well. Next up, I have DC Comics Presents 23, which features Superman and Dr. Fate. This is an Earth 1, Earth 2 cross, because there is no Earth 2 Dr. Fate, pre-crisis, of course. Basically, Dr. Fate has to confront his wife becoming a monster through magical means. That isn't his, of course. And the perpetrator then flies to Earth 1, and Superman is affected. But luckily, Dr. Fate manages to fix the issue in his world eventually, just in time for Superman to no longer be affected and, fix the problem. And again, everything goes back hunky dory. Aren't comics wonderful? This is my last DC Comics Presents pick, I promise. This is DC Comics Presents 51, which is one of the first issues of this series that I read when I was a kid. And Adam apparently goes back in time to see Superman die battling aliens and tries to stop it. That is the basic premise of this book. This book also includes the 16-page preview of Master of the Universe. It's one of the 5 or 6 books to do so, so it may cost a little bit more than the rest of the books of the series. But let me tell you, Adam was wrong. Superman was okay. And we end up meeting a ancestor of Superman's. All in one book. So that's Superman and the Atom, DC Comics Presents 51. Pardon me a sec. All right. Next up, we have Brave and the Bold 62. And one of the next few ones are Brave and the Bold, but they're not all Batman team ups. This one is Black Canary and Starman. And in this one, they team up to stop the Sportsman and the Huntress, who were characters, by the way, in the Stargirl series that was on TV not too long ago. Their daughter was one of Stargirl's classmates. And they team up together to stop a crime spree by the super married team of villains, that is. And this is a follow up to the issue before where they teamed up to defeat the Mist. Next up is probably my favorite Brave and Bold book. This one is Brave and Bold 63, and this one teams up Wonder Woman and Supergirl. And this one shows you how well old white men in the 1960s really understood women. Supergirl sees a fashion show and decides she wants to be a model. Superman is all a tizzle, he doesn't like it, and sends Wonder Woman after her to try and convince her to come back. Well, Wonder Woman sees that and decides she wants the same thing. So together they start living the jet set life and they end up on an island together where they have to defeat the villain Multiface. And once they defeat Multiface, they decide that they're better off. They better stay as superheroines after all because they are needed. I find this hilarious because like it has got some of the most stereotypical female things I've seen in comics. And I mean like Supergirl is smarter than that. So is Wonder Woman in that sense. But just the sight of a handsome man. Next up, the first of the Brave and Bolds. There's got two left. This one with Batman. This is Batman and the aforementioned Supergirl. This is Brave and the Bold 160. And one of the reasons I picked this one over a lot of other ones is not just because Supergirl's in it. It's the fact that the story itself is cool. Supergirl's adoptive father has been kidnapped, and she appeals to Batman to help her as the world's greatest detective. So he helps, and they go around, and eventually they catch the gang. And while Batman takes out all the guards and frees her dad, Supergirl punches the crap out of the guy in charge, and it's just beautiful. This is a book that everybody should read because it's a lot of fun. The last of my DC and Brave and the Bold. So we're going to switch to other company after this. This is Brave and the Bold 198, which is Batman and the Karate Kid, as in the Karate Kid from the Legion of Superheroes. The guy on the cover is a villain by the name of Pulsar that actually was a villain that Karate Kid fought in his own series when back in the 70s when Karate Kid was sent back to the 20th century. Basically, so Karate Kid had come to the 30th century to find his old friend Iris from that series as well, because he wanted to invite her to his wedding. Well, Batman has been dealing with a terrorist group, and that terrorist group has hired Pulsar here, and so their paths cross, and in the end, they win. And Iris, which is the girl Karate Kid came to visit, tells them basically where to go. And that's the 30th century, for those that don't know. Now, my last three books are Marvel books. First up, Marvel 2-in-1 43. This is The Thing and the Man-Thing. Just the name was why I grabbed this one out of the 20 or so issues I have from this. Thing versus Man-Thing. Doesn't that sound like it should be said by a guy with a deep voice going, meanwhile? Anyway, so basically in this one, Captain America and the Thing have been together since the last issue, and they've been tracking a group actually called The Cult. Basically, Ben and Cap have to fight a whole bunch of cult members to try and get this orb that they're fighting over. Well, the fight attracts the Man-Thing, who then gets rid of the prize himself. And that's the brief synopsis of the book. I think everybody should read that one. But this one, from a story point of view, is my favorite Marvel 2-in-1. This one is Marvel 2-in-1 96, and it's basically The Thing and everybody. The Thing is laid up in the hospital, and so there's a fight going on that nobody wants Ben to know about because they don't want Ben to get out of his hospital bed to fight. So the cover shows literally everybody who's involved in this big fight, and the nurse telling everybody to be quiet so that Ben can get his sleep. And I think it's just a great little book. It to me, this book is up there with silly books such as DC Comics Presents 59, which, to be honest, I thought about including, but I've used it in enough places. I thought I'd let it rest and bring other books out. My last book for this top 10 is Marvel Team Up 32, which is the Human Torch and the Son of Satan. One, I wanted to pick a Marvel team up that wasn't Spider-Man. And two, it's got Son of Satan and Human Torch in it, which are two of my favorite Marvel heroes. Basically, what happens is Johnny Storm decides he hasn't seen Wyatt Wingfoot in a while, so he goes visits him, and then realizes that Wyatt is possessed by a demon. Because that happens to your best friends every weekend. If you don't, you got to keep in touch with everybody, make sure there's no demons there. So he contacts Damien Hellstrom, you know, Damien Hellstrom, the son of Satan, and sure enough, they manage to get the demon out of Wyatt, and things get back to normal as normal as things can be, anyways, in the world of Fantastic Four. So those are my top 10 team up picks. If you liked what you saw, please like, subscribe, and comment below. Join in. If you've got 10 team up books you like, do a quick little video. Tag the comic geek, comic book geek. Alan, he likes to do these challenges, and I like to respond. So once again, I hope you enjoyed this. Please, in the comments, put any book you may have read that you like, any books you like to read, or anything of any comment at all, even if that sucks. I'll take it all in that sense. Anyway, my name's Matt, and I like comics, and I hope you do too.